Hello. So I'm going to read the epigraph that precedes the poem, and then I would read the poem itself, the year that Slavok Žižek farted. Okay. The year that Slavok Žižek farted. The bride was displayed in her 7 dresses and 1 more to the women, who could not take their eyes off her. At last the bridegroom was summoned to the chamber where she sat enthroned. He rose slowly and with dignity from his divan, but in so doing, for he was overfull of meat and drink, he let fly a great and terrible fart. From The Year That Abul Hassan Farted, 1001 Nights, translated by Richard F. Burton. They say the changes that occurred from the year that Slavok Žižek farted. They say that people started spending more time staring at vortexes of different kinds, such as washing machines and sinks. They say that fold-out travel brochures began to exert a disproportionate influence on the political-cultural fabric of society. One even became an advisor to the Government Committee on Media Convergence. While riding in an elevator to the upper floors of an international chain hotel, a well-known political commentator was suddenly startled by his own appearance in the mirror and began to gesticulate wildly. The act of buying flowers for a friend, a lover, a relative became fraught with a complicated web of consequences. Several species of flowers would refuse to grow to their full height and would droop prematurely. Vacuum cleaners developed self-projective capabilities, many of them becoming fascinated with space exploration and attempting to launch themselves into distant intergalactic reaches. It was discovered that they could cross the event horizons of black holes and remain integral. They would emerge from the other side, with a black hole often falling behind amorously. Food became talkative, particularly sushi. The little fish flap on top of the rice, especially the part that overextended from the rice, would begin to gossip, sometimes incessantly, so that it was difficult to put the sushi pieces in one's mouth without choking. Disembodied flat-screen TVs took to rape and were implicated in several high-profile cases. Reassembled frames would talk about theory, meeting in fashionable neo-structuralist cafes. Some animals, not just the ones laid out on dissection plates or exhibited in paleoanthropological displays, started to say shit, but nothing else. Teams of zoologists, speech therapists, and cognitive neuroscientists would try to get them to talk in full sentences, but to no avail. There were people who interpreted ththese events literally, the so-called aflato-ontologists of the real. They believed that Slavok Žižek had in fact farted a year into being, but to be perfectly clear, it wasn't the year during which Slavok Žižek farted, but the year that Slavok Žižek farted. Purportedly emerging thus from Slavok Žižek's nether parts, the year had acquired a particular dimensionality within the phenomenological marvelous confines of which these events supposedly occurred. Meanwhile, a quasar located somewhere near the Andromeda galaxy was slowly developing political consciousness. Thank you.